Hello everybody, Hank Klein here from HK Digital Reviews. I'm here today with a third installment of Quick Reviews. Now, this week's going to be a pretty short one. Only have 5 different things to talk about. 2 songs, 3 albums. Admittedly, haven't been listening to nearly as much new music as I've been wanting to. Had other stuff come up, and honestly, just a general laziness that's been kind of coming over me recently. So hopefully I'm gonna break out of that soon, and I'm gonna start listening to more music and stuff like that soon. So I'm working on it. I'm hoping that next week I'll get much more content out than I did this past week, because this past week I've been kind of lacking. Anyways, might as well just start. Might as well make this nice and quick. We're gonna start off with the new Slipknot song, Solway, Firth. Now, Slipknot, alright, a band I adore, have loved for years now. They released a song earlier called Unsainted, which is an okay track. I wouldn't say it's one of their best or anything. It was definitely not anywhere near as good as All Out Life, and had me a little bit worried. But thankfully, this new track actually takes those worries away, and I feel a lot more confident now in the quality of this project that's going to be. Because this is definitely Slipknot performing near its best. No question about that. This new track, Solway Firth, is, I wouldn't know if I'd say it's one of the best songs in like the past 10 years or so, but I would say it's definitely one of the main highlight songs from from their past, from the past 10 years or so. Like, there's multiple transitions throughout the song. It's a longer track. The performances are great. The riffs are pretty good too. The drumming is pretty fantastic, as it usually is. This is just a very solid all-around track for Slipknot. They really definitely have got themselves together. And after releasing Unsainted, they released this track, which definitely I think, and I hope at least, it shows what the style of this new album is going to be. And it's not too long from now. I mean, I'm recording this on July 29th, and in about, I don't know, 12 days or so, their new album will be out. So, not 12 days, 2 weeks I would say, about 2 weeks or so, the new album's going to be out. It's going to be great. I cannot wait for it. August has got a couple albums coming out that I'm pretty excited for. So, that's just one of them. So, rating, I think that would be like a solid 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's a pretty solid track, and definitely one of the tracks that's making me excited for what's to come. The next track I want to talk about was this Zillikami and Sasmula track, aka City Morgue track, titled DAWG. Now, City Morgue, easily one of the most aggressive and in-your-face rap groups to come out, well, period, actually. I don't know if there's a more harsh group of just intense, insane, hardcore trap rap out there right now. I think they are the top of the line when it comes to just pure raw and piss and vinegar, excuse me. So, anyways, I've been kind of looking at these guys after their first album, which I liked at first, but after listening to it multiple times, I realized that really they're just making the same song over and over again without much of a change at all. So I was hoping when listening to this new track, I would hear some sort of change from their style, and thankfully I did. They were able to make a song that sounded much more unique, while at the same time keeping their metal trap influence, keeping their hardcore punk style, keeping their vocals. That's the one thing that's really important about these two. They both have very unique vocals. Like, their rapping vocals are something that you definitely don't hear from anybody else. I mean, they're always just full, 100% in your face sounding. They're never lacking any way, shape, or form. Zillikami's voice, especially, is just. It's like he's like scream rapping almost. It's really odd, but. And he does this for like every single song he's on. But it's such a cool sounding voice. It really is. It's just like. It was made for just pure aggression, which is why I'm glad that that hasn't changed. And I hope really it never does change, because I think it sounds fantastic. And on this track, Zillikami and Sauce will kill it. Their flows are nice. Their vocals are, again, both their vocals are really cool to listen to. They're very different, but they sound great when put together. They definitely have a style that is kind of unmatched right now. And I just hope that with this new project, because they released Volume One for this duo thing they're doing last year. And apparently, it's supposed to be Volume Two is supposed to be coming out this year. I'm hoping that more songs are like this and are more diverse, while at the same time keeping the whole metal rap, rock rap kind of vibe in it. So I'm thinking with this song also, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Very solid. I just wish it was longer. It's about an hour. An hour. Wow, that'd be a long song. It's about a minute and 40 seconds, so it's a pretty short track. It does not last long at all. It's basically over before you can really get a full enjoyment out of what's happening. Alright, so we got that done. Time to move on to the albums that I listened to this past week and had enough information to give a somewhat, at least a rating to. First one we have the new Sum 41 record, Order in Decline. I was looking forward to this album because I heard the songs beforehand, the singles, and they all sound really good. I was pretty happy with them. They were definitely the heaviest sounding that they have been in recent memory. And I was just looking forward to listening to this thing and see if it was all like that. And not necessarily. I think that their pop punk sound, their scare punk sound, at some points does kind of take over from the heaviness. And at this state in their career, it's actually the point to where I'm really not enjoying this sound as much coming from them. But the heavier parts on this album definitely like make this more worth of a listen. Um, this album also lyrically is definitely probably the most political yet, and I gotta say, I'll give it to them. They finally have released a anti-Trump song that's actually good, because a lot of bands and a lot of rappers out there have released a lot of anti-Trump songs that are honestly pure garbage, or just lacking in any sort any sort of emotion or anything like that. Sum 41 though does a choice on this album with the people versus dot 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 and the track 45. And honestly, they actually nail it pretty well this time. The lyrics are pretty good. They're not like corny or just like straight up like, oh the hell Trump, blah 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 blah. It's kind of more, I guess in a way, mature. Definitely much more mature in that regard, which I kind of wasn't expecting from a Sum 41 record necessarily, but it is, and it's actually pretty enjoyable to listen to these tracks. And also, these two tracks are some of the best instrumentally as well. So, really, when it comes together, their most political statements really is the stuff that shines on this album, which is good because, again, a lot of political stuff I've been hearing lately in music has been absolute dog crap. Honestly, like they just don't. It's just so like immature, lazy, and not important to anything. But Sum 41, believe it or not, delivers some great political music on this. But besides that, I'm not gonna say that this album was great or anything like that because it really, in the end, was not. Going back to the whole skate punk thing, like I said, it does get on the nerves a little bit. You're kind of just like, this song could end. Honestly, the music's not that great. The pop punkiness is coming out and it's not entertaining. Let's kind of move away from that. So this album, 6.5 out of 10. A valiant effort by these guys. I just hope that the heavier side of things will continue on down the path. The next the next album we have is the new 311 album, Voyager. Yes, 311. They're still making music. They're not stopping. I don't know if they'll stop anytime soon. And 311, listen, their music for the 90s was pretty decent. For the 90s, that's the thing. They're trying to keep their style in a way while trying to merge it with like more modern types of not even necessarily rock. There's some tracks on here that try to take like generic as possible pop influences and they try to put them on this album and it doesn't work at all. And the lead singer's voice at this point in their career has just gotten to the point where it's just dull or it just doesn't fit with the music that's going on. And some of the music on here is good and it's decent. It's definitely not all bad. But the majority of it, you just kind of like listen to it and you just like smile because you're just like, man, if this was released maybe like never, my life would be great. Honestly, like it's just kind of pointless because 311 doesn't really do anything to branch out their style of like, I guess you'd call it new metal or ska rock. I don't even know really what you would call these guys, to be honest with you. Alternative rock? Like, I don't know. And again, they're from the 90s. Their best music, no question, is from the 90s. You know, like Beautiful Disaster or Down, you know, just songs like that, all mixed up. Another great track. Like, they've had great music in their career, but once the 2000s hit, you know, just, it's just a no, honestly. Like, they need to call it quits. I think at this point because they're just not releasing music that's interesting anymore. And in their best parts of the band, like the bassist Peanut, which I think is a fantastic bassist, he doesn't even shine anymore at any points on any of the songs that they do. And it's just like, well, what's the point? You have this great bassist in the back here, and you're just not gonna let him pull through. Like that'd be like the Red Hot Chili Peppers not letting Flea do his thing. And let's be honest, the only thing worth remembering about Red Hot Chili Peppers is Flea. Nobody cares about the singer. Nobody cares about um, the drummer necessarily. And nobody really gives a damn about the guitarist because when it comes to Red Hot Chili Peppers, the thing people care about most is the bass. And in 311, the bassist never really did kind of peak out as much, especially later in their career. And this album, again, just shows it. And the attempt to do pop stuff just doesn't work at all. And like I said, though, there are some instrumentation points on here that I like. And they do occur often enough to where this album's not complete trash, but this is not selling with me well at this point. So I don't know what 311 is going to do next. I just don't know. New 311 music just doesn't seem like it's going to be a good idea at this point because everybody just seems tired out. And with that, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Fuck it. Actually, you know what? For this case, let's just give them a 3 out of 11. We'll do the math later into what that means out of 10. But since they're called 311, just make it 3 out of 11. Screw it. The final thing we have here, which is the one that was the album that I was most anticipating for, mainly because of the hype that I was getting, is the new let me try that again. The new Lingua Ignota record, Caligula. Now, this has been hyped for many reasons, because apparently her 2017 album, which was her debut, was very well received. I hadn't listened to it or anything, but I thought, okay, you know, she's been known in the world for some of her music, then this project has to be pretty good. And once it came out, people were giving it rave reviews. So I'm like, alright, I gotta listen to this then. I gotta get into it, see what it's all about and stuff like that. And I don't understand necessarily why this album is as fantastic as people say it is. Yeah, it's really not. Well, let me just say it like this. This is one of those rare times where I'm not necessarily excited for the music on it as much as I am excited for the lyrics and the vocals. Because there's no question on this thing, the lyrics and the vocals are by far the best parts of this album. Her lyrics are just merciless, violent, in your face. She is full on just being honestly savage as hell throughout this entire thing, with some very memorable lyrics on it as well, which you can look into if you want. I can't necessarily think of them on the top of my head. That's kind of ironic, right? Memorable lyrics that I can't remember. But anyways, her lyrics are great. Her vocals are very unique. They sound pretty good. The times when she's just straight up yelling, though, doesn't, to me at least, fit the situation or the emotion at all. It just really doesn't. I don't understand like why she's doing it when she's doing it. The instrumentation definitely is not there to back it up. And that's the thing with the instrumentation. Like, so her genre tags for her music is like noise pop and like neoclassical dark wave. And I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just not a neoclassical dark wave fan necessarily then, but the instrumentation just seems lacking on all fronts. Like, yeah, there's some stuff that makes it dark and stuff like that. Ah, dark ambient. That's what I wanted to call it. It wasn't noise pop. It was dark ambient was the genre that I was trying to think of. And there's a lot of that in there as well. And there are moments of loud, noisy instrumentation as well at points. But it just does not, and I repeat, does not go to the lengths that it should for it to really make the mood set. It just does not. I don't know what people think about this album to make it think it's so great, but to me, the instrumentation is lacking. Some of the production is lacking as well. I am not enjoying it for the reasons that I thought I'd be enjoying it, instead of enjoying it for the reasons that I didn't think I was going to care for on this project. And really, at the end of the day, her singing and her lyrics legitimately is what gives this album the rating I'm about to give it. Because if her performances from herself were not as strong as they are from beginning to end on this album, besides some moments where I think her screaming is just unneeded, then I think this album would have suffered pretty badly. But thankfully, she herself is just entertaining enough and in your face enough and talented enough to where she makes this project something I may go back to in the future to listen to again. But the instrumentation on here, I just find to be kind of meh, to be honest with you. I don't think it does anything to give you the mood that I think she's trying to set on this album. And I'm not trying to say that it was like she or the producer, I should say, didn't try, but it's just, I feel like there could have been so much more added to it. And maybe adding more to it would have taken the whole neoclassical dark wave thing out of it. But maybe in the end, neoclassical dark wave is just not that interesting. I don't know. But that's just me. I think it could have been better. Could have been more entertaining. Could have been more emotional even. Could have been more angry even too. But the instrumentation completely failed on that front. And again, if it wasn't for her singing and lyrics, this album would have probably been maybe even below a 5, honestly. But her vocals and lyrics are just so damn good that I'm going to give this album a 7 out of 10. And I don't know if I'll ever talk about it again. But anyways, that's it for everything that I have. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell if you want, I guess. Don't really care. Get notified, when I post a video if you really like it that much. Which I hope you do. I hope you enjoy these a lot. I want to be more active this week. I feel like I have to be. I've been kind of lacking the past week. I've been lazy doing other stuff, I'm trying to work on getting my streaming stuff working better. Just more other personal stuff going on as well. So I'll try to get back into it more this week. Reviews coming up, I don't know yet. I know there's a chance to rap her album out, and that might be fun to review. We'll have to see. Anyways, I guess I don't have anything else to say necessarily. I can't even think of anything else in my mind right now. But anyways, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a nice day.